Joining me in the room podcast to talk about his second professional MMA bout taking place at Reality Fighting on Saturday, January 6th, is an old friend of mine, Mike Motzz, Antidormi. What's up, my man?
It's all good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Happy holidays, bro. I know you can't celebrate too much, and you've been in here before, fighting around the holidays, man. But, how are your holidays, at this time?
Good, man. Just spending time with family, get to see my nephews and stuff like that. I had a plate, on Christmas, but I'm fighting at 145, so I got a little bit of leeway, you know what I mean? So it was good, man. How about yourself?
I worked, as usual, because that's like what I like to do. But, I saw my kids, gave them their Christmas checks, and they were all happy. I was happy,
Nice.
and I went out for after I visited family members. I went out for Chinese and had a scorpion bowl on Christmas night.
There you go. Like 8 crazy nights.
Tapped it out, tapped it off, my man. But great to talk to you, bro. Haven't spoke to you since you won that reality amateur title. Back at the beginning of the year, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the pro debut back in July for CES, a first round finish, KO there, man. Let's get to that fight, bro. You had your pro debut at CES in Cranston, Rhode Island, my stomping grounds. Let's
Yes,
talk it,
sir.
bro. Talk about the experience and getting over that bridge there, getting that fight over with.
It was it was a good experience, man. It was pretty cool, man. It's funny. There's a few extra things that I could do now at pro, but in that fight, it was so cut and dry. It was so quick. The kid was out of there in like 40 seconds, and I didn't really even get to do most of the things that I'm now allowed to do. So I'm excited for this one. I think that this kid's going to be a bit tougher, and he'll be in there for a little bit longer, and I'll get to show some of my skills and really put on display what we've been working on in the gym, me and Dan.
Excellent. Well, leading up to that pro debut, did you have any fights fall through? I mean, that's something that you're used to as far as in your amateur career. Was that fight set in stone, or did you have some opponents drop out before that fight actually happened?
Yeah, so yeah, I haven't had a problem with that most of my amateur career, and it happened again. I think 2 weeks before the fight, the original opponent, dropped out, and so they flew somebody in, and the kid took the fight on 2 weeks' notice, which I appreciate. That's some gangster shit, but yeah, it didn't last long. I'll say that. But it was cool. At least I got a fight. That was the main thing. Obviously, I've had so many kids back out and so many kids turn me down. So to get a fight is the goal. Most of the time when I'm in camp, I'm just hoping that they sign the contract.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. Well, you fought for CES and you fought at the Park Cinema, the famous, Park Cinema there. How was the crowd? How was I mean, you were way out of where you are in Connecticut, but how was the crowd for you there?
It was good. It was good. I had a bunch of people come out. Everybody, all my people, they all show love. They all come out and support. So I'm always appreciative of all them. But it was cool, man. The crowd was super receptive. It was funny, man. It was like one of those things. It was such a quick fight, and the way that the finish happened, it was like the camera was at my back, and it was a theater, not a stadium. So like people were only seeing it from one side. So it was like I had so many people asking me what happened. Everyone said that they heard the shot, but they couldn't see the shot. And so it was kind of funny. I got to like explain it to everybody afterward, but everybody was super cool out there. I walked right into the crowd afterward. Everybody showed love, even people I don't know. That's always a cool thing, man. So yeah, it was good. The crowd was cool.
Excellent, my man. Well, here we are going back to reality fighting and Mohegan Sun. You fought there. I believe you had your amateur debut there. Your last amateur fight when you won that featherweight title. And now you're going back there for your second pro fight, man. How's it feel to get back home?
It's exciting, bro. I'm super super excited for it. It's cool to be back in our backyard. I sold a lot of tickets this time. I still got some time to sell tickets, but I've sold a lot already, and I make good money there, and You know, you walk out into a party. It's like there's no better scenario. You know what I mean? You walk out and everybody's already partying. So that'll be cool, man. I love fighting in Mohegan for sure.
Well, as far as you going in there, are there any other training partners, maybe some grapplers, or anyone else, making that trip going to be alongside you that you train with?
Yeah. So it's funny, actually. A good buddy of mine that I train with at FAA all the time, and he comes down to CT Combat and gets work with us down there. Me and Dan, Jake Russo. He's fighting for the title that I won at the beginning of the year. So that'll be awesome. I'm excited to see him go out and put on a show, man. And get himself an AMI title and eventually go pro soon. So he's a good dude, great fighter. I'm excited to see him get to work.
That's funny that you mentioned his name because I just interviewed his opponent yesterday,
Oh, is that
Mike
right?
Mike Jolliker, who is another really stud in the area, a really good kid, and this is going to be a great fight. So that's
I
good
agree.
stuff, man. So you're going to have a trainer partner and I don't know if he's younger, but he's younger in the MMA field there. So that's pretty cool, man. As far as your corners, I would imagine Dan will be there with you, the new dad, Dan.
Yes, yes. New dad of his little man Declan. It's adorable, man. Yeah, he was. That was actually my last fight. Was the first fight that he was not in my corner for, and they ended up having the baby on the day of the fight. So it was like, thank God that he didn't show up to the fight, and then his wife gave birth, you know. But yeah, so he'll be back in my corner for sure. I'm excited for that, man. Yeah, him and Rob Cipriano. So that'll be cool, man. Those are my boys, my guys, the
Excellent.
OGs.
Well, before we
Yeah.
get to your opponent here, and how you looking at this fight, as far as training partners and getting you ready for this fight, you mentioned Jake Russo. Who else has really been in there getting rounds with you and helping you along here?
All the guys at FAA Milford, man. That's like my second family. You know, CT Combat is my gym, and I do mostly all my training down there. But I go to FAA every week, and those guys, I mean, they're the coolest guys, man. Super welcoming to me. They have no ill will towards me because I train at another gym. I go there every week, and we get work together. There's Stanislav Rakov. He's a great training partner of mine. He's a young amateur coming up. He just got a knockout at Cage Titans. Another one over there, Diablo. This kid Lester. He just got to finish a knockout at Cage Titans as well. Same card. So yeah, all those guys down there, man. FA Milford. That's my second family over there. So I got a bunch of guys down there to give me great work. A lot of guys my size. So it's nice that I get to go and cross train over there. You know.
Excellent. Well, second time around as a pro, things changed in there as that first pro fight with the time of the rounds, extra tools you could use in there as far as,
Right.
pros versus AMI. Anything changed going into this fight as far as training camp, that you saw from the last fight that's going to help you through, even though it was only like 40 seconds or so?
Yeah.
Anything, changed in training camp? You add anything, anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it wasn't much to study from that last fight, like you said, but at the same time, I did see a few different things, and so did Dan. Dan told me a few different things that we want to correct in the way I went about a few different things in that fight. Really, nothing much has changed in training as far as like generic stuff. Like I'm still training pretty much the same way. Like I've been training elbows, knees to the head since like my first amateur fight, and that was something that Dan wanted me to do because he didn't throw an elbow until he had his first pro fight, and so that was something that he wanted me to get ahead of the game on, and we've definitely been doing that. I really feel that I'm going to show some new tools, some new weapons that people haven't seen out of me, and I'm excited to get that aspect of my game out there and show everybody what I can do with a better rule set, with a more violent rule set. You know.
Well, excellent, my man. Well, here's your opponent, Kyle Kaler, out of New York. Fought for Cage Wars. I would say 99% of his career. Had a long amateur career, a ton of fights. Winning record, a lot of finishes in there, submissions, knockouts, TKOs. So, game opponent. He's coming off a loss as his pro debut for CFFC. As we know, they're a really, really great regional promotion that, is a gatekeeper for the UFC and bigger promotions. He came away with a loss in that fight, but, fighting another stud in there. Here he is back on the horse. What do you know about this kid? And he's going to be coming into your backyard, I would imagine. How do you see this fight? And what intrigues you about this kid, if anything?
So I know a little bit about him. I know he had an amateur boxing career, and I think that's probably the strongest part of his game would be his hands. And at the same time, I really don't feel that there's anywhere that this fight can go that I'm not better. I train everything, and I'm great at everything. There's not going to be an aspect of the game where I'm going to feel out of place or where I don't feel that I want to be. I'm going to let this fight come to me, and I think it's going to be a violent finish, to be completely honest with you.
Well, Mohegan Sun is going to be looking for that violent finish along with your fans and reality fighting promotion. My friend, second fight of the year. It's going to be, second fight as a pro, first
Right.
fight of the year, January 6th. We're kicking it off. How busy you looking to stay? You had a busy amateur career. You had a lot of fights falling through, but you're undefeated since the start, bro. How busy you looking to stay in 2024?
Very busy, very busy. I'd like to get. I was just talking about this with my coach. I think we're going to get at least 3, possibly 4 in the first half of the year, and really make a push to see where we can take it in the second half of the year. But I'm looking to be very busy. This is going to be a big year for me.
Well, it's a couple more questions, Mike. As far as the weight, you're fighting here at featherweight. Your last fight was a 140, and like you had a late notice, so that you know 5 pounds here and there you have to have.
Right.
But here we are again, featherweight. I think talking to you in the past, you want to be at bantamweight, or are you happy jumping back and forth?
I mean, honestly, I, bantamweight is where I feel I belong. I think I'm a true 35er, but at the same time, I feel comfortable at 45. And recently, I got a nutritionist and kind of a new workout schedule, and I feel stronger and faster than I've ever felt, and I don't feel that there's any discrepancy when it comes to going from 35 to 45. I don't think that these kids skillfully could hang with me regardless of the weight, and not only that, it's like that 10 pounds ain't gonna make or break me. You know what I mean? I'm a big, strong 35er, so it's like I don't really mind jumping from 45 to 35, but ideally, when we get to the big show, 35 is where I want to be. So.
Excellent, my man. Well, last question here, bro. What's left to do? Tomorrow we are 1 week away.
Sure.
It'll be a new year. We have New Year's on Monday. What's left to do here, my friend, before you step in that cage for the second time?
Not much, man. The work is done, man. I never stop training. I train all year round. I do my skill training every day, twice a day. I don't change anything when I'm out of camp. The only difference is when I get into camp, it's time to get in the best possible shape that I can get in. And I'm about there right now. There's really not much left to do other than stay the course and keep my weight on point and get dehydrated for one day and then go put on a show.
Well, Mike, always a pleasure catching up with you. It's been a little while, but I'm glad I caught you when
Yeah,
you're having your second pro fight there, man.
likewise.
Congratulations on the success, everything going on, the team, all that good stuff. Last thing, social media, sponsors, anything you want to say before I let you go, man, and get into fight week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. First of all, yeah. So Instagram is Antidormi 911. You can find me on there. You can buy tickets from me on there, or Michael Motzz Antidormi on Facebook. Also, my name on TikTok. YouTube is just my name, and yeah, I got actually a bunch of new sponsors for this fight, so I'm excited about that. I'm really appreciative of all those guys. G1 Cuts Barbershop, that barber's been cutting my hair for 15 years, and he wanted to support and show some love. So he's going to sponsor me for this one. I got one of my buddies owns a concrete company in Naugatuck where I live, Simple Slab. So he's going to be a new sponsor. Cryotherapy, Caveman Cryotherapy has always been a sponsor for me since my first amateur fight. I love those guys. Fish the World. My cousin started a business. He's a fisherman, so I got him on there with me. Yeah, so I got a few new sponsors. It's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
So does your mom get her fish from him when she's cooking her plates and stuff like that?
Nah, they're in South Carolina, so they're in a
Oh,
hop,
okay.
skip and a jump away for sure. You
Well,
know?
I'm sure you're going to be pigging out come January 6th after that fight, bro.
Can't
I
wait.
know Dan, and he's going to be looking to celebrate afterwards with you guys, and I
You
know you're
already
gonna,
know it.
yeah, I know you're gonna
Yeah,
have a ball. Dude, I'll be watching it, and we'll be talking after that. I'm sure I'm going to be seeing you at another promotion down the line.
absolutely.
Either fighting at it or just being a fan and just hanging out. So, with that said,
Yeah.
Mike, man, thank you so much for giving me the time here with the
Thank
holidays.
you.
Holidays and a week away from this fight, but man, bless you, man, and have a ball on January 6th.
I appreciate it, brother. I plan to. Thank you again, man. I always appreciate you showing me love, man, giving me the shine.